Good morning, students, families, school board members, administrators, faculty, staff, and community. Welcome to the Jersey Shore Area Senior High School graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. Though we are under unprecedented times and must follow challenging restrictions, even in phase green, we would like to thank you for your patience and understanding as we all work together to honor our seniors, the class of 2020. As we prepare to honor our seniors and provide them with the opportunity for recognition they deserve as graduates, we ask that you also honor our seniors by adhering to the expectations of today's ceremony and remaining in your vehicles. Again, thank you. Graduates, please rise for the playing of the National Anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Kenneth, the Jersey Shore Area School District Assistant Superintendent. Dr. Dady.
All right, good morning. First of all, I need to thank Dr. Ulmer for allowing me to, usually it's not the assistant superintendent that gets to speak at these things, but I have to tell you, I'm very grateful to be able to do so. So I know I'm supposed to come up here and talk about some very eloquent speech about your future and what lies ahead, but I did not want to take the last opportunity I had to speak to you as a group without talking about this group personally and how much you've impressed me over the years. You see, I feel like I'm the one that's honored today and privileged to be here with this group and this year, and this is the year I get to speak at graduation. I've known most of you since you were in kindergarten, and almost all of you since you were in 7th or 8th grade when I went to the middle school as a principal. When I was there with you during that time, I have watched this group of students do things that have amazed me and given me memories I will always remember and cherish. Now, some of those memories were very humorous, especially in 7th and 8th grade during that time, that awkward time in your lives where you're discovering who you are and the frequent visits some of you made to my office. I appreciate you coming to check on me so frequently and being willing to get yourselves in trouble to just come say hi. I appreciate that. Some of those memories were very touching, like how you responded to needs in our community and served those around you. You started that very early on when you were in elementary school with various food drives, and you turned that into a community response when you got to the high school through the We Shore Care projects. The countless ways that the clubs that you've been involved in have done things for the community and for our schools. During your time at the high school, you took school-wide positive behavior to a whole nother level through the positive statements and encouragement and cultural change that you brought to the school, through all those positive comments that you see throughout the school through the Renaissance Club, the Key Club, this stuff down here. You guys have brought a change to our community, not just the school, but you used the vehicle of your clubs to do so. Some of you have had the privilege to get to know extremely well. You see, life's all about relationships, and this plaid really likes me. Life's about relationships and getting to know you and being able to see into your lives has brought great joy to me. Even the mischievousness of some of you still makes me laugh. I could tell, probably would not be appropriate for me to do so, but I could tell countless stories all the way from elementary school through high school and tell you how hard it was to consequence some of you with a straight face. Because knowing the harmlessness of something that you did, but you broke the rule, and I tell you what, it is hard to consequence sometimes and not laugh at the same time, knowing that some of us have been in those very same situations. You see, your true self comes through in the most difficult of times, though. And the memories that you've given me is something that I will cherish forever. You guys have experienced not only great times and great success, you've also experienced loss. You've had to deal with adversity, and this year, you even got to deal with a pandemic. But yet you've all persevered. Not just individually, but you did so as a community. You helped bring our community together. All the way back in elementary school and middle school, I've seen you stand with those who were hurting, stand up for those who were being picked on, and stand with those in need. And you continued to do so all the way through high school. Integrity is one of the traits I value the most. Integrity is not in what you say, but it is in what you do. It does not mean that you are always right or perfect, but it means that you always try to make sure you do things the right way. Thank you for being people of integrity. So the best advice that I can give you is just to keep moving forward. Don't slow down and don't lose your momentum. You have already impacted a community with your heart, ambition, and integrity. Continue to do that, build on that, whether it be here or in another community. You really sure do care. And you have shown that. You've lived it out. Thank you for all you've done. And I really love you guys.
Thank you, Dr. Dady. The class president for the class of 2020 is Josie Russo. Josie is the son of John and Jolie Russo. He has been active in the school community as the president of the class of 2020, treasurer and member of the Future Business Leaders of America, and member of the PEP Club. Josie is also involved in the National English Honor Society. Outside of school, Josie is employed at the Oval Country Store and enjoys hiking, hanging out with friends, and eating lots of food. Josie plans to attend the Pennsylvania State University in the fall, majoring in business management. His best memory of high school is being able to experience everything with his 5 original best friends: Josh, Will, Tanner, Eli, and Terrence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2020 class president, Josie Russo.
Before I say anything else, I want to thank Mr. Keene and everyone involved in the graduation plan for today. As we all know, a week ago, there was an entire different plan, and the moment they had the opportunity to do something different, they worked really hard to get us in yesterday and get us here today. So thank you guys so much for that. Good morning, students, parents, teachers, and friends. My name is Josie Russo, and I've had the honor of serving as the class of 2020's president this school year. Before I get started, I want to take the time to thank some of the people who have been an important part of my journey through high school. First and foremost, I would like to thank my parents and my sisters for being here for me every step of the way, but for more importantly, driving me insane to the point where I actually look forward to going to school. I would like to thank our class advisors, Mrs. Riggle and Mrs. Long, for being our voice for the last 4 years. Through these times of uncertainty, you both have certainly went above and beyond to find ways to bring us joy and give us a proper ending to our senior year. I would like to thank Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Steppe for being here for me whenever I needed any sort of advice or guidance. And last but not least, I would like to thank not only my teacher, but my big cousin, Mr. Miller. I'm going to miss annoying you to the point where you would look at us, shake your head, and say in the high-pitched voice we can all hear right now, "What is wrong with you guys?" All jokes aside, you've been here for me whenever I've needed someone to turn to, and I appreciate that more than you know. Although I was eligible when it came time for me to start kindergarten, my parents decided to keep me in preschool another year. When I was old enough to realize that I could have started school earlier, I asked my parents for an explanation. They explained to me that the sole reason they waited to start me was because they feared as a young boy I would get caught up in sports and not put much effort towards school. Anyone who knows me knows that was not the case, and there isn't a single athletic bone in my body. Anyways, after coming to a complete understanding, I was angry. I thought about all the things I could be doing a year earlier: graduating sooner, going to college sooner, just starting my life sooner in general. When I expressed my feelings, I was given 2 pieces of advice. The same 2 pieces of advice that every kid hears not once, but many times throughout their lives. That is, don't wish your life away, and don't take anything for granted. It wasn't until about junior year that I really began to understand what they meant. We had to take the SATs, tour colleges, and were expected to know what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives. In those moments, I finally understood the first piece of advice: don't wish your life away. My entire attitude changed, and I suddenly wanted to slow time down rather than speed it up. I started looking back at all my years of school in disbelief of how fast they flew by. The thought of moving on from the same routine I've known my whole life upset me. As for the second piece of advice, don't take anything for granted, I thought I had always had an understanding of what that meant. Then March 13th of this year came. We walked the halls of school one last time without even knowing it. We were robbed of our last few months of high school, arguably the best ones too. We didn't get to say goodbye to teachers and friends. We didn't get to have our class trip or prom. The coronavirus has certainly taught not only me and many students, but many other people around the world to not take things for granted. I'm not going to name all the things we didn't get to do because of COVID-19, but instead remind us of what we did get to do. We got to hold our annual homecoming assembly where we watched our friends escort one another, compete in Mr. JSH, and scream up the top of their lungs to compete for the Spirit Bone. We got to ride on our float in the homecoming parade and even take the win for best float. We got to sit under the lights every Friday night cheering on our football team, who had the best season in all of Jersey Shore history, not only winning their first ever state playoff game, but making it to the Final Four in the state. We got to cheer on our boys and girls alongside the basketball court. We even got to make bets with our friends on who would win, and Mrs. Hartman would always be there to remind us that was not a legal contract. We got to actually host our now annual volleyball tournament in our school, dance the night away at our last Sadie's Hawkins, and finish our last square dancing unit. Most importantly, we got to laugh, cry, and lean on each other as we created more memories to add to the lifetime of ones we've been working on the last 4 years. As I stand here today, I want to now thank my parents for waiting to start me in school. Had they not done that, I wouldn't be graduating in arguably one of the toughest classes in all of Jersey Shore history. And if anyone in the previous graduating class tries to argue that statement, remind them they're lucky our powder puff game got rained out. All jokes aside, I can't imagine spending what will have been the best years of our lives with any other class. Our bond has and will always be special, unique, and most importantly, unbreakable. I know that no matter where life takes us, we will be cheering each other on. Class of 2020, a part of me wishes that we had 4 more years together, but a bigger part of me cannot wait to see what everyone accomplishes in life. Thank you for choosing me as your class president this year, and always remember, this is the place that shaped you into the person you are. Everything you learned here. Jersey Shore is and will always be your home, and the best part of it is, no matter how far you go in life, you can always return. Today is our day. Today we celebrate us. Class of 2020, in the most unexpected way, we did it. We graduated.
Good morning, Jersey Shore. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the salutatorian for the class of 2020, Maxwell Ferguson. Max is the son of William and Cindy Ferguson. He has been very active at Jersey Shore High School. Max pursued and filled many leadership roles that helped to develop him into a well-spoken, socially active, and hardworking individual. During his years at Jersey Shore High School, Max played an important role in the FBLA program, serving as state vice president at large his sophomore year, state vice president his junior year, and state president during his senior year. He played a key role in the We Shore Care project throughout that time period. Max is also active in sports and music programs, having participated in cross-country, track and field, and swimming. And who can forget his rendering of the character Gomez Addams in the Addams Family musical, which is a favorite memory for him. Max also serves as vice president of the class of 2020. Academics are important to Max, as displayed in his membership in the National English Honor Society, Rho Kappa, and National Honor Society. Outside of school, Max likes to spend time outdoors fly fishing, hunting, and running. In the fall, Max will attend Brown University to pursue a degree in architecture. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2020 salutatorian, Maxwell Ferguson.
March 13th, 2020 started as a normal day for all of us. We had heard of the coronavirus, but we didn't think it was very serious in our area at the time. To the class of 2020, it was just another normal Friday in our senior year. Little did we know, that was the day when we should have said goodbye to our teachers, our classmates, and our schooling career. Before we knew it, 2 weeks off turned into a month off, and then a month turned into the rest of the school year. Our senior year was seemingly ripped from our hands. But during this whole quarantine, I've been thinking to myself, I'm not surprised this happened to our class, because we've overcame a lot of hardships in our schooling career, and it seemed fitting that high school ended with an obstacle. So I'd like to just go back in time and talk about some of the hardships we've overcome as a class and as individuals. First, I'd like to take everyone back to our 4th and 5th grade years. We faced a really big challenge that year, as we were forced to sing the 12 Powerful Words song every day, over and over again. And some of you will remember that dreaded song, and some of you will not, and if you don't, I envy you. Our next big hardship came in middle school, around our 7th grade year. That year, we sadly lost something very near and dear to our hearts: dodgeball. That's right, so many kids got injured from dodgeball in gym class that year, it was taken away. We did get a short reunion with dodgeball in gym class this year, though, so thanks for that. Our hardships in middle school increased in 8th grade, as we had to overcome the fact that the 1-hour lunch in high school that we looked forward to for all of our middle school career was ripped from our hands, and we could only look forward to the same short 30-minute lunch that we already had. Then came high school, and man, did we face a lot of adversity. Our sophomore year, we faced something that I like to call the App Valley Crisis, where about half of our class downloaded Snapchat and video games onto their iPads. But we persevered, and our classmates only got away with getting their iPads wiped. We faced another crisis that year, too. Another crisis called the Fortnight Crisis. A year and a half where boys never got their homework done because they were playing Fortnite every night, and we all thought that doing the orange justice and dabbing was the funniest thing we've ever seen. But we survived, and we were all still here, living to see another day. Small groups of us faced adversity in high school as well. For example, some of you may have had my dad for first period class. Wow, that must have been hard to stay awake. Love you, Dad, I'm just kidding. I know some of you liked working out in the fitness center in the mornings a lot too, and I can't imagine how hard it was to have to listen to Mr. Eisworth's 80s pop radio every morning. And then a group of us suffered from the Great Flour Incident, where some students dumped about 5 bags of flour on the whole student section at a whiteout game, and we all got kicked out. But hey, we did go see the next game. However, the greatest adversity we faced and biggest hardship we had to overcome occurred this year. And it wasn't our senior year coming to an early close. It was the sad day when we found out that Cold Math Games was blocked on the iPads. But in all seriousness, our class also had a great number of accomplishments that we should be proud of. First, I thought we threw an amazing junior prom. And then this year, our football team, led by our seniors, went the farthest in the state playoffs in the history of our school. A truly amazing accomplishment. But then our truly most impressive accomplishment in high school as a class was receiving all 100s in our classes for the last marking period. I don't know how we did it, but we must have worked really hard. All jokes aside, our class should be really proud. This year ended very abruptly and unexpectedly, and I don't think I speak for just myself when I say it was hard to cope with and handle. But we've all stayed strong and dealt with this head on. We're making the best of a terrible situation and overcoming a great hardship like we've done our whole schooling career. And we couldn't have done it all ourselves. I'd like to thank our administration for reassuring us that our hard work over the last 3 years was not for nothing by holding this amazing ceremony for us. Thank you to the absolutely amazing teaching staff here at the high school in our district. Your love and support across our schooling careers, and especially in these trying times, has not gone unnoticed. I can't fully put in words how much you have impacted our class. And finally, to the amazing parents of the class of 2020 for showing all your students support and strength through these trying times. To my parents, thank you for all the love you've given me for the last 17 years of my life. I don't know how I would have made it through high school without your guidance and support. Mom and Dad, you're the absolute best. So I guess this is it, class of 2020. After seeing you, all of you, almost every day for 13 years, it's finally time to say goodbye. I'm so proud of everything that our class has accomplished, and I wouldn't want to call anyone else my classmates. Thank you, goodbye, and best of luck.
The valedictorian for the class of 2020 is Brianna Rogers. Brianna is the daughter of Beth and Robert Rogers. She has been very active in the school community as the historian of the class of 2020, member of the Future Business Leaders of America, Key Club, and the Student Council. Brianna is also involved in the National English Honor Society and Spanish National Honor Society. Outside of school, Brianna has been involved in competitive gymnastics for 15 years. Brianna plans to attend the University of Pitt in the fall, majoring molecular biology, which I think we need. Her best memories of high school include the fun experiences in AP chemistry during her junior year and watching the pep rallies. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2020 valedictorian, Brianna Rogers.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome family, friends, faculty, administration, and the class of 2020. Just 4 years ago, we were a class embarking on a big journey in our life as students. We were finally moving up to the high school. With moving up to the high school, we faced many new challenges, like learning how to navigate the halls, understanding which period we had to go to lunch, showing up to the wrong class, clutching your schedule like it was your lifeline, and then being turned away, and trying to figure out how to succeed as the little fish in the pond. Well, after 4 years, I can proudly say that we all accomplished that and so much more. As a class, we have learned that everyone is different, and we need to celebrate our differences in order to be stronger as a whole. Throughout our time in the high school, we have grown into confident and courageous young adults ready to take on the world. We also learned how to be ourselves and not to care about how other people saw us. For those who have not had the opportunity to be a part of the class of 2020 as I have, many may not know we are a wild and rambunctious class, full of people ready to put smiles on others' faces and make everyone laugh. However, the class of 2020 is full of individuals who strive to make a difference in both our community and the world. Our class is full of so much potential, from students wanting to be future scientists, engineers, nurses, graphic designers, athletic trainers, lawyers, and so much more. With high school coming to an end, I want everyone to remember the lasting memories that came from being a part of this community and this amazing class. Not everyone's memories of high school are the same, but we all have one thing in common. We are all members of this remarkable class of 2020. No one ever imagined life to be transformed so much in the blink of an eye, but we have to be ready for every challenge thrown our way. In the real world, you will encounter many obstacles that will try to uproot the dreams that you may have for yourself. But we have to remain strong in the face of adversity. We were supposed to be the class of 2020 where the vision was clear. However, due to the outbreak of COVID-19, that vision was now not as clear as we once imagined it to be. With school being cut short, events and sports being canceled, things that we've been looking forward to for the past 4 years were gone before we could ever experience them. The vision that you have is always clear, but it depends on the type of mindset that you have in order to believe that the vision in front of you is, indeed, crystal clear. I know this is not how we imagined our senior year would end, but we did experience many incredible highs amidst all the terrible lows. Our football team accomplished something that had never been done before in the history of Jersey Shore. They had made it all the way to the Final Four of the state championships. Our indoor color guard also experienced their own kind of success earlier in the year. The band and cheerleaders brought the energy to every football game, home and away. The cross-country team broke personal records, the girls' tennis team aced it on the courts, and the soccer teams left their mark on the field. The boys and girls basketball teams both made it to districts, and many matches were won on the wrestling mat. Even though spring sports never got the opportunity to play out, I'm sure there would have been many notable moments that could have been shared among the different teams. For any athlete like myself, involved in sports not associated with the school, I want you to be acknowledged for all your hard work that goes unrecognized by the school. I also want you to know that I am proud of you and any of the successes you may have experienced this year. The fall play was a big hit amongst the community, and the musical would have brought in the same large crowds if it had made it to the stage. Some of our clubs also left their mark on the 2019-2020 school year. FBLA had an astounding number of its members qualify to both the state and national leadership conferences, as well as make a large impact in our community with the holiday meal boxes from the We Shore Care food drive. Key club members gave back to the community in a variety of ways and provided an outlet for students to be active in both our high school and our community. Walking across that bulldog painting at the base of the stairs every school day for the last 4 years might not have meant much, but it would signify that we were one day closer to the culminating event of high school called graduation. We had one less day walking the hallways between classes, building unforgettable friendships, making lasting memories with our classmates, but it would mean we had one less day to learn as much as we could from the teachers at Jersey Shore Area Senior High School, as well as learn more than just academics, but lifelong lessons that we will carry with us into our own bright futures. With entering into our senior year, many thought that graduation was so far away, and they weren't ready to graduate, while others believed that graduation couldn't come sooner and set countdowns for June 6th. Well, those 285 days have passed and graduation is upon us. It is time for you to celebrate this milestone and be proud of yourself and all your hard work that is 13 years in the making. But don't stop dreaming for something bigger and better. When one door closes, another one opens. The door to your future has just opened and is waiting for you to take that giant leap into newer and better things. Even though many recent opportunities have been taken from us, there are still a million more available to you if you have the courage to pursue them. We can't sit around and let the world change us, for we have the ability to change the world. So seize every opportunity and take nothing for granted, because it could be gone before you know it. Remember that with every new goal, it requires hard work and dedication. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning." So whatever path you may choose to follow, I hope you stay true to yourself and work the hardest you can to accomplish anything you set your mind to. The last 13 years have been a remarkable journey, and I wouldn't have wanted to experience it with any other group of students. But sadly, this journey has come to an end, and we all embark on a new journey, either pursuing post-secondary education, the military, or joining the workforce. With the recent phase transition, I am glad that we have the opportunity to sit together for the last time as the class of 2020. Even though the situation isn't ideal, I'm excited that we can celebrate this day surrounded by our classmates, family, friends, and faculty members, as well as watch all of our classmates walk across that stage and receive their diploma, and then together move our tassels over and throw our caps in the air with celebratory shouts. But don't diminish the importance of this day just because it's different. Be proud of who you are and where you came from, and remember, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Thank you.
Dr. Ulmer, Dr. Dady, School Board of Directors, parents, and community members. As principal of the Jersey Shore Area Senior High School, it is my honor to certify these candidates as having met the requirements for graduation set forth by the Jersey Shore Area School District and the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Congratulations, graduates. Class officers, will you lead your row to the podium? Row one, stand up. Please welcome the class of 2020 advisors, Mrs. Jana Riggle and Mrs. Michelle Long, for the presentation of diplomas.
Josie Charles Russo. Blaine Warren Mann. Maya Malata Moore. Maxwell James Ferguson. Brianna Ray Rogers. Sarah E. Alexander. Douglas R. Allen Bartholomew. Tanner David Allison. Bailey Nicole Anderson. Darrell W. Andrus. Natasha Nicole Baker.
Good job, Natasha. We're really doing it.
Luke Allen Berry. Eric S. Bell. Gabrielle Alexis Balomo. Dylan Michael Ferguson. Hunter Orion Beerley. Marissa Nicole Brady. Lydia Grace Breon. Mackenzie Lynn Brooks. Noreen Elizabeth Brown. Tiffany Marie Berkey. Wyatt Elijah Buss. Alec Nathan Carpenter. Maisie Grace Chapman. Jocelyn Renee Charles. Natalie Gail Charnego. Lucas J. Corson. No, just stand there for the picture. Haley Jade Crowley. Cassandra Elizabeth Dapp. McKenna Jacqueline Day. Peyton Elizabeth Derrick. Alessandro Dincher. Alex, stand right there. Alexa Christine Dincher. Jaden Thomas Dobler. Caitlin Ryan Dobler. Olivia Ann B. Eisner. Chloe M. Embick. Alyssa Ann English. Carissa A. English. Nathaniel Ewing.
Everybody's watching Nate. Danielle Rose Lee Fantasky. Jared Lee Fantasky. Olivia Janet Farr. I'm going to say Callie. Kylie R. Fozzie. Congratulations. Bailey Elizabeth Felter. Evan Russell Fink. Congratulations. Taylor Michelle Fleming. Braden Michael Foley. Joseph James Frantz. William Joseph Frazier. In the box. Amanda Jean May Fuller. Chevelle Nicole Fuller. Shelby Lynn Fuller. Andreas L. Gallick. Nicholas Elliott Garman. Logan Cole Garrett. Rachel Elizabeth Garrett. Skylar Blaze Geary. Emiliana Megan George. Alexa Peyton Gephardt. Abigail Lee Gerst. Madison Ray Gilbert. Good job, man. Ellie Jean Graff. Yay. Madison Marie Grenoble. Sadie Taylor Griswold. Serena Marie Gunn. Destiny Noel Gonzalez. Good job, Destiny. Brett Kay Guthrie. Kylie Madison Hager. Congratulations. Justin Michael Haynes. Congratulations. Cody Charles Hamilton. Seth Allen Hamilton. You guys. Aaron Michael Harrer. Jonah Matthew Hartman. Brielle Ann Hess. Brooke L. Hill. Paige Amanda Hill. Hannah Lee Hines. Seth Lawrence Ingram. Good job, Seth.
I love you, Dawson!
Gage Marcus Kaler. Chase Lucas Kirschner. Ryan Francis Kirschner.
Owen Dean Knepp. Sean Michael Koch. Isabella Jane Kreiner. Brooklyn Nako Kujua. Randy Elizabeth Lanks. Sophie Grace Lauer. Tanner James Lorson. Brandy Lee Malik. Joshua David Malicki. Luke Gerard Manival. Derek Matthew Marshall.
Yo, let's go, boys! Woo!
Elizabeth May Marie McLean. Christopher William Lawrence McKibben. Chris. Justin Thomas Mercado. Caleb Nathaniel Scott Miller. Faith Christine Miller. Allison Nicole Moore. Benjamin T. Morgret. Hannah Marie Moyer. Josephine Francis Murray. Tyson Donald Muethler. Alexis Josephine Muethler Harris. Yep, that one. Yep. Jordan Olivia O'Connor. Cade M. Palmatier. Emily Ashlyn Paul Hamus. Shania Elizabeth Penton. Callie Ray Pepperman. Sarah Marie Peach. Mackenzie Ella Powell. Esther Pauline Probst. Justice Addison Quintanilla. Joshua James Raymond. Skylar Jade Reef. Mandy Marie Remick. Rylan Thomas Rockwell. Kylie Leanne Russell. Caitlin R. Ryan. Veronica Suzanne Sander. Karina G. Sarge. Annalie Marie Schmidt. Miranda Rebecca Schneider.
Mr. Garb. Maybe Mr. Garb can hold it.
Oh yeah, that's what this year's too.
Alexis May Schuler. Yep.
Yes, that's it.
Dawson Stephen Seacrest.
I love you, Seth.
Joseph Edward Shade. Leslie Ann Shadle. Anthony James Schaefer. Casey Diana Schobert. Arizona Rain Schreck. Emma Marie Silvis. Justin M. Smeal. Congratulations. Megan Elizabeth Sorgan. Evan Charles Spangler. Blaze McKiley Spots. James A. Spots. Sean M. Steinbacher. Stephanie May Steinbacher. Aubrey Elizabeth Stetz.
That girl out!
Haley Ray Stetz.
Yeah.
Terrence James Stetz. You're welcome, Terrence. Grace P. Stevens. Jason Michael Stringfellow. Lauren Renee Summerson. Lane William Sweely. Mackenzie Ann Thomas. Annalie Brooke Tyndall. Evelyn Rose Titus. Titus Cage Tupper.
Twitch.tv, Titus Tupper. Twitch.tv, Titus Tupper.
Jade Autumn Omer. Seth Martin Webb. Lyle Christopher Welshans. Paris Marie West. Taven L. West. Stanton Prince Westland. Price, I'm sorry, honey. Stanton Price Westland. Tyson Hunter Whitman. Thank you, Tyson. Eli David Willett. Tyler R. Willits. Savannah Jade Winter. Micah James Worth.
Graduates, please rise. On behalf of Jersey Shore Area School District, congratulations with successfully completing your high school career. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations. Please remain standing for the playing of our Alma Mater. The programs have your Alma Mater inside in your packets. orange and black. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduated class of 2020. Congratulations. Community and parents, thank you for staying where you are. Graduates, at this time, you may return to your families. Thank you.
I want to say that we'll dismiss the cars from the parking lot.
Parents on dismissal, the second tier will dismiss. I need you to stay in your lanes going down the hill. The top tier will stay in the left-hand side. See the tier 3, the bottom tier, stay in the right-hand side, and you're going to turn right at the stop sign down Cemetery Street. Thank you again.